Okay. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Namaste, I think is better. So, uh, what we have seen so far is how to use various tools. Today, I'm going to just have a look at uh, what exactly we are aiming at with all these tools. As I told in the beginning itself, what happened? Yeah, let me start my presentation. So, what we want to know is whatever computational tools we have developed, how far they help us in understanding the text. This is the question which we started with in the beginning, that we want to reduce the time for learning Sanskrit using these computational tools. Let's see how far we have reached, and uh, let me also uh, try to tell you what are the limitations of these computational tools as well. So, what to expect and what not to expect from these tools, this is what we will be looking at. So, in the very first talk, I mentioned about when we learn any language, what are the various things we learn? We learn script, we learn the pronunciation, spellings, vocabulary, morphology, syntax, segmentation, semantics, and so on. Now, when it comes to uh, the when we want to learn Sanskrit and we know whatever mother tongue ours is, so let us call them L1 and L2. We know L1 and we want to learn L2. The time typically needed to learn any new language, farther the language from your mother tongue, it will take more time. Closer the language, it will be very easy to learn the language. This we must have experienced, all of us must have experienced. So now whatever that time is between learning L2, given that we know L1, whatever that time is, that time we want to reduce, be it a very close language or far away language which is farther away. So for example, English knowing person, if is learning Sanskrit, he will take little more time compared to an Indian learning Sanskrit, because Indian languages will share vocabulary. There will be a lot of common words, and therefore they will learn it little faster. And because of the similar syntax and then morphology and so on. But the English knowing persons whose mother tongue is not English knowing, whose mother tongue is English, they will find it a bit, they will take little more time to learn this. But whatever is the case, we want to reduce this time. Suppose it is X, we want to make it at least say 0.5x or 0.6x, whatever. We want to reduce that time. And we have seen that load reduction actually has taken place. You need not learn the script. As we have seen, you can enter the words in even in Roman or in IAST or in WX, and you can convert them on the fly to Devanagari, vice versa. So script is not a barrier at all. Vocabulary, we have online dictionaries. Of course, there are limitations which we have also noticed. Nevertheless, online dictionaries are available. As far as the morphology is concerned, now machine remembers all the words. You need not remember those tables, 8x3 table for Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, etc., which when we were taught, we used to memorize all these tables, and similarly for verbal forms and so on. But now we need not memorize all these things. Well, some exposure is needed. But even if we don't remember all the forms, does not matter. Machine is there to help us. And as far as the sentence construction is concerned, sentence formation is concerned, again, machine tries to help us. Now I have put here 90% and 50 to 60%. Why not 100%? There are reasons, and I will come to those reasons little later. So let us try to understand the power or the strength of machine and the strength of man. We know that machines, we have seen, machine can remember the word formations, word analysis it can do. It remembers all the grammar rules, which vibhakti, which case suffix to use when, and all that. All these things machine remembers. We need not remember all these. Even sandhi formation, machine remembers the rules for sandhi formation, and we can use it for splitting purpose also. So machine is very good at all these aspects. So essentially, whatever is related to rote memory, machine is very good at. For a human being, typically we remember only the things which are specific to that context. So let me give an example. So if I say bank is a verb, many of you will find it a bit difficult immediately to accept this, because you might have heard bank as a noun, money bank, blood bank, etc., or bank of a river for that matter, which is also a noun. But then I banked on him. Here bank is a verb. So what happens is, typically human being remembers the most frequent usages. The rare usages, unless you point out to them, they don't remember. So human being is a little weak in that. Also, human being cannot since human being does not have all the access to all the morphological analysis, etc., at a given point in time, he will miss few things as far as the logical reasoning, etc., is concerned, because some few things are already left out. They are not there. Whereas machine does not have this. Machine is just looking at whatever vocabulary is there, whatever grammar rules are there, and throwing all the sentences, throwing all the solutions in front of you. Of course, we can guide machine to produce most frequent one, etc. But that is some extra effort that is needed. On the other hand, for human being, extra effort is needed to get the rare solutions or rare analysis, etc. So this machine is very good at remembering all these. Whereas human being is very good at word sentence or word meanings or sentential meanings. The relation between the word and its meaning, that is there inbuilt in some sense in human mind. Inbuilt in the sense, okay, it's very natural for him to memorize all these meanings, etc. Whereas for machine, well, machine can memorize the dictionary, but then it cannot relate it to the actual object in the real world. Of course, the AI is going in that direction. I don't want to go in the details, but for machine, it is a bit difficult to associate the word with the meaning, or what is the given, what is the context, the complete word knowledge that, well, some birds can fly. This kind of information is there with us, human beings, but machine find it a bit difficult to assimilate all this information and use it for logical reasoning, etc. So we know what are the strengths of machine and man, and also what are the weaknesses of man and machine. So the whole aim is to, we want to reduce the time in language learning. So we want to use machine in such a way that the time is reduced. The time to learn a language or time to access the text in another language is reduced. So how do we do this? We share the load between man and machine. Whatever, in all those things where machine is good at, we leave that part to machine and we take the load of the other part. So now we don't spend much time in learning the word forms, learning the grammar, etc. We have done it within just 3 months. Okay, we looked at the morphology, sandhi, samas, grammar, everything we looked at. Within 3 months, we completed all these things. Now, let us see how, and we have also seen some examples how we are using these tools to understand the text, etc. So while understanding the text, essentially, as a human being, we are using our word knowledge, common sense, cultural knowledge, domain knowledge, the context, and we also know the meanings of the words. How do we know? Again, we use the machine, we use online dictionaries, but from that we know the meanings of the words. And once we know the meanings of the words, we can understand how one word is related to another word in a sentence, etc. And we try to get the sentential meaning. Now, well, this is the whole ideal situation. But actually, in practice, it's not happening that way. There are limitations of the software that we have written. Yes, Tara, can you wait, or you want to ask the question right away?
No, I can wait, definitely. Thank you.
Okay. So now let us see the limitations of the software. See, ideal situation is the machine takes the load of morphology, syntax, etc. And it is the human being who tries to interpret and understand the text. But then there are these limitations of the software. First thing is, we may not get we give a word to machine and machine may not analyze it. So this is one problem which we may face. Machine may sometimes miss some analysis. So we provide a word, it produces only one analysis, whereas there are two analyses possible. It misses something. And it's also possible that dictionaries are not aligned properly. We have now 4 dictionaries, but they might not be aligned properly. And all these problems are because of open-ended vocabulary. It's not that we have just 30,000 words or 50,000 words. The dictionary we know is open-ended. And essential, and especially with regards to Sanskrit, because Sanskrit uses compounds very often. And as I think earlier also I told you that every 4th or 5th word in a Sanskrit sentence is a compound word. So we need to understand that compound clearly. And all the compounds cannot go in the dictionary because these compounds are actually productive in nature. The meaning is very productive. Once you know the type of the compound, you can get the meaning of that compound just by some formula. So this dictionary is typically, the lexicon that is available to machine is limited and therefore there will be incompleteness. There can be incompleteness because certain grammar rules we have not implemented yet. For example, the taddhita words, we have not yet implemented all the taddhita rules. So those words for such words, we cannot get the complete analysis. So if the word is not there in the dictionary, then we cannot get the analysis for such tadditantas. So these are some of the things where we have incompleteness in our software. And then there is this overgeneration also. So on the one hand, we have incompleteness. On the other hand, we have overgeneration. This overgeneration is because of lack of yogyata. Machine does not know whether the two words are compatible or not. So machine produces the segments, and we have seen several segments are produced, but if we look at the meanings of these segments, maybe they are not compatible, and machine has produced it because machine has not looked at the meaning. It had just looked at the phonemes and it has split. Or machine tries to establish connection between words without looking at its meaning. Again, it produces several relations, several connections. While naming the relations, it may go wrong. It doesn't know whether to call it hetu or karana or karta and so on. So of course, it follows the grammar rules. Following grammar rules, whatever is possible, it produces. But it is not looking at the meaning, and therefore, the connection that is established or the name of the relation that is provided may be wrong. So when we are looking at the analysis produced by machine, now as a human being, we need to look at the meanings of each of these components, each of these words, and see whether that split whatever machine has produced is really meaningful or not, and whatever graph it has produced, whether it is meaningful or not. So the onus is now on us to choose the correct analysis from among various analysis that machine has produced. So remember, this incompleteness actually is something which is easy to handle, but overgeneration is very difficult to handle. In the case of incompleteness, if you just point it out to us that, look, this word is not being recognized, and provide us the context also, we can add it to our database, and we can add it to our lexicon, and then the result will be reflected. The analysis machine will start doing the analysis for those words. Of course, it is not easy to add rules for tadditas, the grammar rules. If some grammar rule is missing, well, if similar rules we have already incorporated, like for krudanta, etc., we can add them. But if it is something like a taddita, it is not possible to add it immediately, because taddita, we need to look at all the rules of taddita, and then we can provide some solution for it. Similarly, for compound analysis, since still the machine is not ready, the software is not ready, it will take some time for us to provide the compound analyzer or the taddita analyzer. But whatever are available, like the krudanta analyzer or tiganta analyzer, that is analyzer for any other word than the taddita, if the word is not recognized and you are sure that it is a krudanta or taddita or subanta, you can point it out to us, and then we can improve upon it. Or if somebody who knows Sanskrit grammar and finds that some rule is being not used, or such things also you can point out, and we can update on that part also. The dictionary alignment is again going to take some time. It's not that easy, because the way different lexicographers divide a word into various senses, there are differences, whether to consider two senses as two different senses, or there are technical names for these, homonymy and polysemy. So whether it's a kind of continuum or totally different meanings, that we need to decide, and then alignment, etc. So it takes some time, and therefore the dictionary alignment may take time. But as a human being, when we have all the entries in the dictionary, since we know the meanings of these, we ourselves can understand without resorting to machine for aligning it properly, etc. So this incompleteness, in a sense, is something which is easy to handle. Suppose you come across some word which is not recognized by machine in your shloka. You can replace that word by some other word and still get the analysis. By which word? By some synonymous word, maybe. But then you may also say that if I do not know the analysis, how can I know what is the pratipadika? And so here some guess you can guess the pratipadika, because now you have acquired some vocabulary. You may guess the pratipadika, go to dictionary, see if such a word is there, etc. And then replace it with some equivalent word. Or all the, you can totally ignore that word and try to understand the remaining shloka. If that word is a karaka, especially karta or karma, then you may fall into a trap, and you may understand the sentence in a different way, wrong way. But if the word that you have dropped is, say, an adjective, it doesn't matter much as far as your understanding of the sentence goes. There will be slight variation in the understanding. So whenever you come across such words which are in gray color, you can just either ignore them or replace them with some other words and see if you can continue with the analysis, understanding. This overgeneration is something where you need to pay a lot of attention. Machine will produce something. Don't be under the impression that whatever machine has produced is the correct one, especially when it is the sentential analysis. As far as the morphological analysis is concerned, there are no doubts about the correctness. The morphological analysis produced by machine is, I will say, 99.99% correct. Whether you use Samsadhani or say Heritage engine. When it comes to segmentation, machine will produce a lot of segmentations, and according to the grammar rules, all the segmentations are possible. But you need to know the meanings and see whether there is compatibility, especially when it is a compound, whether the components are compatible or not with each other. That you need to see. Similarly, in case of connections, when machine says this word is related to that word by this relation, you really need to check yourself, is it really the case? Because here machine is not looking at the meaning part at all. It's just providing you all possible solutions as far as the akanksha is concerned. So the expectancy or the akanksha is fulfilled. The condition of sannidhi, that they should be together, that is fulfilled. But the condition of yogyata, we have not checked. There are some checks which we have provided, but it's not complete. Just maybe 10% checks we might have put, not more than that. And therefore, there is overgeneration. So don't be under the impression that when machine produces some analysis as the first analysis, that is the correct one and I should try to understand it. No, you should actually be very skeptic when it comes to the sentential. Try to understand, try to look at the meanings and see whether the analysis is really correct or wrong. So now I would like to take questions and then I will start with the demonstration further. So yes, Tara.
Yes, I have a basic question on the script. I know Devanagari, but it's hard for me to type it. So I see you typing WX really fast. I was just wondering, how does one learn WX? Do you have to actually learn a whole script, or is there, I mean, did you have to actually?
Okay, for WX, you just go to Wikipedia and WX notation. Okay, you go to this and here you will have the chart.
Screen is not shared.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, just a minute, let me share the screen. Okay. So you go to the Wikipedia page. This is WX notation. Okay.
Yes.
And you can get this table. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And so you just get used to it and you get very fast at it. Right?
Yeah. And
okay.
Here you will see a few things are in bold. For example,
Yes.
QL. So you need to remember these. All others are very simple. You have small case for short vowels, capital for long vowels, and the small letters for the alpa prana, non-aspirants, and for aspirants you have capitals.
Oh, great. Okay.
And here these are two things which you need to remember. And the dental and retroflex, tatha dadha and tatha dadha, we use WX for tatha dadha. That's why the name also WX.
Right.
So you remember this, that
okay.
there is something funny with WX. Okay. And
Thank
here
you.
is one more. Otherwise, it's pretty simple to remember the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And by the way, if now for Mac, I have a WX keyboard also. So you can type in WX and on Mac machine, you can get it in Devanagari. You can
great.
see it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Similarly for Linux, for Windows, I still do not have, but I think WX packages are there for Windows as far as I remember. Okay, fine. So Premalata.
Namaste, ma'am. See, my issue is I am trying to do this Padachedam for a Grantham called Narayanyam. It's a nice book, nice thing. And there the challenge is it has got same line has got double meanings, two different meanings, two different. So those things. So I'm finding this tool very useful because it gives me a complete set of analysis. What are the possibilities? And then I have other tools I look up and everything I do. So one day when I was showing you a line, when I showed you a line, and you immediately said that the as soon as you saw that line, you said the machine will not give an analysis, it will break at multiple points. You told me that. And that day I wanted to actually probe on it further, but that time we were in the middle of the class and all that. We had not come to this stage. So I just thought it's not the right time to ask. But now I want to ask you, what could be the possible places why that as soon as you saw that link, that line, you said this is not going to give you a correct analysis.
I don't remember the line. Will you please repeat?
Okay, now I'm not ready with that line, but maybe for the discussion session, I'll keep that line ready.
So please bring that line again, because I don't remember now the line. And
okay.
So there must be some clue, and because of which I said machine cannot do it.
Oh, okay. So
when
I come for the
clue, I would like to share that clue with you, provided you give the line again. Okay,
yeah, definitely. When the discussion section, I will keep that line ready with me, and I will come for the discussion section on that day. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. And then Usha Janak.
Yes, madam. That day I told you I did not get graph analysis for most of the homework problems. And yesterday again I tried, and I went through that segmenter in a heritage platform, and Sandeep the properly, and then again I keyed in, so I got the graph and other things. But in some case, there is in first chapter 24th sloka. Shall I tell now?
Yeah,
I got factoring error.
We will do it little later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll wait for
maybe
it.
During the discussion session tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, madam.
Okay. So, so now today, of course, this will be little more practice of the given tools. But now we will look at the points which I have mentioned, and let us see how to decide whether machine has whatever machine has given is correct or wrong. So because see, now suppose you take up some new texts such as Narayani, which Premalata was mentioning, and suppose there is no commentary available and there is no translation, nothing. In such a case, how do you ensure yourself that whatever machine has produced is correct? Okay. So remember that there is always overgeneration, and the onus is on the human beings to decide which one is the correct one. Machine gives some priorities and produces some results, but the first result produced by machine need not always be the correct one. Okay. So let us try to see with some examples. So let me where is my okay. Yeah. So here I have a shloka from Bhagavad Gita. All of us are very much familiar with this shloka. So let me go to this. It is paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam. Well, I'm not sharing the screen, right? Sorry. Okay. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. A very famous slok from Bhagavad Gita. Now I have vinashaya cha. Here I have made a mistake. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya. This I have split. Okay. So I don't want to go each time again to segmenter. Directly I have split here and provided the solution. And we have Yuge Yuge. Okay, so I select this shloka and I submit this. Okay, so sorry, Sambhavami, I made a mistake. I wrote Sambhavami. I need to go back and make the correction. Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. So machine has produced some result. Sambhavami is the verb. Sambhavami. Bhu means, Bhu is to be. Sambhavami, who appears. I am not again going to dictionary each time. So this is about Krishna saying that I will appear again and again, yuge yuge. So in different yugas, he will appear, Sambhavami yuge yuge. So this part is correct. Now for what purpose he is coming? Dharma samsthapanarthaya. So arthaya, artha means for the purpose of. For the purpose of establishing the dharma, I am going to appear again and again. So then you have two more words. One is vinashaya and paritranaya. Now this vinashaya, this also is in fourth case, Chaturthi Vibhakti. Paritranaya is also in Chaturthi Vibhakti. So there are these three words, paritranaya, vinashaya, and dharma samsthapanarthaya. All of them are in Chaturthi Vibhakti. So, and if we look at the meanings, vinashaya, vinashaya is to destroy. Destroy what? Destroy dushkrutam, those who are bad people. So dushkrutam, this should have been related to vinashaya, not dharma samsthapanarthaya. So machine has gone wrong here. And then paritranaya and vinashaya, these are together, samuchita, conjoined together. Paritranaya sadhunam, for the upliftment of good and the destroyment of the bad. And in order to establish the dharma, I am going to appear again and again. So if we look at this part here, machine has gone wrong. Dushkrutam should have been connected to vinashaya. Vinashaya is not a visheshana for this, but there should be samuchita sambandha. But machine has failed to establish this samuchita sambandha also. So why it has failed? In the first analysis, it has not given. Maybe there might be 10th or 15th or 1000th analysis where it will give this samuchita. But now in order to do that, either you can go and see what are all possible solutions and then select. There is another shortcut method for correcting the solutions and looking the graph, which I will be explaining on Monday. You can save this analysis, make the corrections, and upload this analysis. Machine will produce the graph for you for the corrected uploaded solution. So how to do that, that I will cover in the next class. Okay, so regarding this, there are some questions. Yes, you may ask the questions. There were some hands raised. No. Okay, fine. So, so we have here this. Let me take another example. Sorry, where is my Okay. Now let me take an example from Kalidasa. Little bit difficult one. It is the first shloka from the Raghuvamsham. Okay. Vagarthau iva. Now I need to go to Devanagari. Vagarthau. Oops, sorry. I just wanted WX. Okay. Vagarthau iva samprukto. Vagartha pratipattaye jagatah pitarau vande Parvati Parameshwarau. This is the shlok. And let us try to understand what is this, what is the meaning of this shlok. So today I am concentrating on understanding the meaning, and therefore I am going little fast. I am selecting the segmentation, etc. I am doing it manually. And let us now try to understand this shloka. Okay. So has machine produced the
Ma'am,
Yes.
it is, I guess it is Pratipatthaye. It was
Yes,
there as
Pratipattaye.
Pratipatthaye.
Yes. Yeah, right. There is a typo there. Pratipattaye. Yeah. Vagartho samprukto, Vagartha Pratipattaye. Okay. Now this is fine. That's why machine failed to produce the analysis. Okay. So Vande. And Vande is Uttam Purusha Ekavachana. So Aham Vande. I bow. To whom? And for what purpose? Prayojana. Machine has produced a very wrong result. Okay. But let us try to understand this, what machine has produced. Vande, the prayojana for Vande is Vagartha Pratipattaye. Vak is the speech, Artha is the meaning. Pratipatti is the cognition, understanding. Understanding of Vak and Artha. The relation between Vak and Artha. How the speech and the meaning, they are related. What is the relation between Vak and Artha? In order to know this, I bow to whom? Actually, it should have been Parvati Parameshwarau. So machine has failed to connect this word to Vande. Now, why I should bow to Parvati Parameshwara? Because Vagarthau iva, Vak Artha, these are two. So this is in dual. Vak and Artha, like the speech and the meaning, are joined together, they are blended. Sampruktau. Just as the word and meaning are blended together, similar are Parvati Parameshwaru. They are one. There is no separation between Parvati and Parameshwara, just as there is no, you cannot separate Vak from the Artha. And therefore, I bow to Parvati Parameshwara. And who are these Parvati and Parameshwara? They are the Jagataha Pitarau. So this Pitarau Sambodhya is correct, is incorrect. Pitarau should have been a Visheshana for Parvati Parameshwara. And these Pitaras are of Jagat. They are the parents of the whole word. So you see, machine has gone wrong in several cases. Parvati Parameshwarau is not related. Pitarau is not, this relation is wrong. And Jagataha is also wrong. So 3 relations are wrong out of 7. So only 50% it has done correctly. Okay. So, and this you will encounter more in the literary texts. Now the same thing, if I give as a prose instead of shloka, if I change it into the prose order, maybe machine may do in a better way. So let us try that. Vagarthau iva sampruktau aham Parvati Parameshwarau vande. Aham Vagartha Pratipattaye Vagartho iva samprukto Jagataha Pitarau Parvati Parameshwarau vande. Parameshwarau also let me write as Parama Ishwarau. Oops, what happened? Okay. And here I select prose and submit. So here you will see now a better result. Here Vagartho iva, this is wrong, but Pitarau is the Visheshana for Parvati Parameshwarau, and this is the karma for Vande. This is correct. Jagataha Pitarau is correct. And this Sampruktau can be a Visheshana for Pitarau or can be Visheshana for Parvati Parameshwarau. Vagarthau iva, this should be related to Sampruktau. So again, 2 relations are wrong. This Upamanam should have been with Parvati Parameshwarau, and Sampruktau you can have here also, doesn't matter. So 1 relation at least is wrong. It should have been Vagarthau iva. Actually, Vagarthau iva Sampruktau is correct. You cannot have this related to Parvati Parameshwara because Vagartha is the analogy for the analogy is Samprukta. Just as Vak and Artha are blended together, so are Parvati and Parameshwara, and therefore I am doing Vandana to Parvati and Parameshwara. So this Samprukta should be related to Vagartha, or rather Vagartha is related to Samprukta and Samprukta is related to Parvati Parameshwara. So 2 relations here are wrong. And we can fix these again. So try to understand the analysis given by machine, and wherever it has gone wrong, if you just notice them, you can make the corrections. I will tell you how to do the corrections in the next class in the Excel sheet. And you can again resubmit and machine will show you the correct analysis, correct graph. Okay, so let me have one more example. Yes, Tara, you have a question on this?
Yes, before you go forward.
Yeah.
So is he saying I bow down? Is he really saying I bow down to Parvati and Parameshwara, or is he saying I bow down to the word meaning, which is like Parvati Parameshwara?
No.
No?
It is,
Okay.
see, I bow to Parvati Parameshwara. this is the very first
who
shloka
are
which is-
like,
who are like, who are samprukta. Let us see the meaning of samprukta. Samprukta is mixed together, blended, combined, connected.
right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, or here in heritage, I didn't get. Well, this is Sanyukta Ghanishta. Okay. So we have, this means they are blended together. They are mixed together. They are, both are inseparable in a sense. Okay.
Right.
So, so I bow to Parvati Parameshwara, who are the parents for the world. And why I am doing this? Because my purpose is to understand the Vak and Artha. Okay.
Okay. I just didn't understand how
Yeah.
that
So
fit in.
Pratipatti,
Okay.
let us see what is Pratipatti. Pratipatti, here it says gaining, but no, Pratipatti is cognition as far as I know. Yes, comprehension, intelligence, supposition, or not supposition. Here it is a perception. Perception or comprehension, I think, is better. In Hindi, we have acquisition first, pratyaksha. Yes, this is the perception, pratyaksha jnana. So, Vak Artha, what is the relation between Vak and Artha? In order to understand that, in order to gain more knowledge about the inseparability of Vak and Artha.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Right.
this makes sense that
Thank you.
I am bowing Parvati Parameshwara, who are like Vak and Artha, they are also blended together.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So remember that machine goes wrong in analyzing, because here it just looks at the vibhaktis. You have Samprukta, Pitaro, Parvati, Parameshwaro, all are in second case, Dvitiya Vibhakti. So,
Ma'am, I have a question at this point.
Yes.
I have a question at this point.
yes,
So can you show that graph again? So
Yes.
these are the kinds of issues that I'm facing with my Narayaniam also.
Huh.
Now you see the Samprukto, it can be attached to both Parvati and Pitarau at the same time. You just
Yes.
said that Samprukto should be attached to Parvati Parmeshwarau, but it can be attached to Pitarau also. That is one point that I want to see. I want you to analyze both my concerns at the same time. Now my second concern is, now this Pitarau is there. Pitarau can mean two things. So there is a two meanings hidden there. Pitarau means two fathers also it can mean. When you say it as two fathers, that means Hariharam. Parvati Pa, husband of Parvati, and Ramesha, husband of Rama. That means Hari and Hara. Vishnu and so I am bowing to the creators of the world, Hari and Hara. That meaning also I can create. Okay, so when I'm getting these like double layers, this
okay.
is
So
constant.
now let me answer this question.
Okay,
See,
okay.
Here the word Pitarau is not for two fathers. See, Pitarau is Dvivachana in Pitru, right? Dvivachana of Pitru. So you are taking two fathers. Now, are these Hari, Hara, both of them considered as fathers? Okay, so you need to know the tradition.
That is how we believe. We Malayalis, at least the whole country has got different belief. For us, Ayyappa is a god. Okay,
Okay, fine. Now let me come back to this. Now suppose you take Hari Hara as Pitarau. Okay. Then Pitarau and Parvati Parameshwarau, there cannot be Visheshya Visheshana Bhava. Okay. These two, Parvati Parameshwarau, there is one male and one female. In Pitarau, you are saying two male are there. There is no Visheshya Visheshana Bhava. These two are two different things. In such case, then Cha will be there. cha should have been there, but there is no cha. Okay. So if I want to get the meaning as I am going to both Parvati Parameshwara as well as Harihara, there should have been cha there, but cha is missing, and therefore it cannot be. This Pitarau is Parvati Parameshwara only. It is the Visheshana for Parvati Parameshwara, and Pitara in the sense of parent. Okay. Okay. Now the next question.
That is when you are breaking it as Parvati Parameshwara. But if you are breaking Parvati,
But this is a compound. See, Parvati Parameshwara is a compound.
Correct. So you're breaking it as Parvati Parameshwara, but you can also break it as Parvati Pa Rameshwaraha. So Parvati Pa, if you break it as Parvati Pa,
Okay, I got it.
Parvati.
Okay, I got it. So you want to say Parvati Pa, that is the Upapada Tatpurusha.
Correct.
And Rameshwarau, Rama Ishwara.
Ramayaha Ishwaraha.
Rameshwara. Rameshwara. Okay. And then, okay. If that is the case, then you can have Pitarau. Yes, you are right. And in that case, Pitarau will refer to those two gods, Hari and Hara.
Correct. Yes. So I want an analysis which is giving me that option, 2 layers. Sometimes each.
Okay.
So now, that is rich.
Now see that now I want to understand. I really am not sure whether with the Upapada Tatpurusha you can have another compound. This is called a Garbhita Samasa. That means a compound within a compound. Okay. You have 2 compounds. One is Parvati Pa and the other one is Rama Ishwara, which is another compound. And these 2 again you are joining together. Now I need to know whether this is possible or not, whether Parvati Pa is a good Purvapada or not. I'm not sure about it. Okay. So we will have to go to the grammarians and ask these questions.
Okay.
Okay.
This is what I typically face.
Okay. And then Sampruptau. Now whether it should be Visheshana for Pitarau or for Parvati Parameshwarau. Again, we need to see the meaning. That day also, we have seen this Drupada Putrena Dhimata Shishyena. Okay. So Dhimata, was it Visheshana for Shishyena or was it Visheshana for Drupada Putrena? Tava Shishyena, Tava Dhimata Shishyena. So Dhimata was actually, Dhimata means Buddhiman, intelligent. And he is referring to Acharya. That look, you were intelligent. Naturally, it will be intelligent disciple. Not intelligent Drupada Putra. Your disciple who is intelligent Drupada Putra seems to be something odd. Similarly here, Vagartha is being compared with Samprupta. And who are Samprupta? Is it Pitarau or Parvati Parameshwarau? Now you may say that Pitarau and Parvati Parameshwarau are referring to one and the same person. Yes, but here Vagartha, this is a compound with two components, Vak and Artha. Similarly, Parvati Parameshwarau, you have Parvati and Parameshwara, 2 components. In Pitarau, we do not see 2 components. And therefore, it is more probable to link Samprupta with Parvati Parameshwarau than to Pitarau. Okay?
This makes sense. Okay.
Okay. Then there is one more hand raised by PWR. Yes.
Just wanted to know, you are saying for this purpose I am going down, that for this purpose reasoning, which word is giving that type of meaning?
this Chaturthi Vibhakti is there, Pratipattaye. This Prayojana. Prayojana means purpose.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so it's already 7 o'clock. Shall I take one more or shall I stop? I think I will stop because the next one I wanted to take from this Shishupala which is again a difficult text. So let me take it on Monday. Okay. Okay, so if there are any questions, then we will have questions now, if there are any.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Madam, is there any page which will include all the mistakes which will occur?
Okay. We still do not, but okay. So essentially you want a list of all possible mistakes you will be doing and how to correct those.
Yes, yes. Because
Okay.
sometimes I got fatal error, illegal code, etc.
Mm,
So for which board I got it, I do not know.
okay, see the
Ma'am,
illegal character, etc. See, when you if you have copied from Ramayana something, there you might have encountered such problems because the Ramayana which is there on our website, it had some typing mistakes. Instead of Visarga, colon was typed there. So I changed it. And similarly, there was another problem with Halanta. Words which have the Halanta. Unicode has introduced something like a non-joiner kind of thing. So after this Parama, they add some non-joiner so that when I remove this hyphen and join the next word, then it does not join it together, but it remains as unjoined kind of thing. So such things Unicode has introduced, and when we converted it from some whatever notation to Unicode, whatever font to Unicode, at that time, while converting it automatically, machine had made mistakes. So that's why there are those characters. Of course, all the Visarga, all the colons, now I have changed to Visargas after some of you have pointed it out. And regarding the Halanta, I will check and I will try to correct it and upload the corrected version by tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, madam. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Any other? PWR, you still have a question? Any other question? Your hand is raised.
Very rarely we get the graph, then we get lost how to get it. Instead of understanding the sentence, we go in technicalities. So perhaps that your the flow chart will help us. It must have been given. I had joined late today, perhaps.
No, I have not given the flow chart yet. Any flow chart I have not given. Well, see, if you are not getting the graph, you need to find out what might be the reason. Okay, why don't you send me those sentences for which you didn't get the graph, and we will discuss them so that it will be beneficial for everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
I will do that.
So please send me the sentence.
I will check. I was not there 20 minutes. Perhaps you might have taken those sentences. Same those which you give as a homework. Same
No, those I
done.
have not. No, I didn't do those in the
Okay.
class.
So one of them I will send to. I got
fine.
3 places error. One or
Fine.
two I will send.
On Monday, I will take those. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Tara.
Yes, I was just wondering if you had decided what the final project would be, and or
Yes.
will you do that on Monday?
Yeah.
Where is
yeah.
it coming from?
Okay. Let me tell you about this, the next plan for next week. So on Monday, I will tell you how to correct these graphs and get the correct graph, etc. So whatever analysis you get, so far we have seen that we go to this all solutions and then select the correct solution, etc. But that is not needed. We can, if there are only one or two relations wrong, then we can manually also correct them. And I will tell that. And with few more examples. And then on Wednesday, I will give you the exact plan for this project, how you will be, the shlokas will be given in the next week, not this week. Tomorrow, this is 28. Okay. So maybe by 5th of February, we will assign you the shlokas. But on 31st or maybe on the 2nd of February, we will give you few shlokas, either from Bhagavad Gita or from some other text for practice purpose. Okay. By practice, I mean, we will be providing you all the intermediate solutions and all the steps, etc., what you are going to do, how you are going to do, etc. So 2 or 3 shlokas we will give you on Wednesday. And the next Monday, that is, I think on 5th of February, we will assign you 2 shlokas. And here I don't have the calendar. Okay. So these shlokas will be from Mahabharata. And this is from Ashrama Vasika Parva. So the English commentary for this is available. Okay. And also Hindi commentary is available. So we will provide you the Hindi and English commentary, and we will give you either 1 or 2 shlokas each. And you need to provide the complete solution in the form of this graph. This will be the project work. Okay.
Yeah, and I have a quick question. Can you tell us the date when the course will be actually over? I'm sorry, I never.
20th of February. Okay.
That's soon. Okay, thank you.
By 20th February, you have to submit your final project work.
28
Great,
or
thank you.
20?
20.
Okay.
We started on 20th October. So we close on 20th February.
I still haven't paid, but I'm not.
No, that is still, we will contact you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Madam, one small question.
Yes.
Can you upload this morning WX notation keys that is chart?
WX chart. You go to Wikipedia and you will find it.
It will be there, no? But
Yeah,
I'm not getting.
It's there on Wikipedia. Wikipedia WX notation you type, you will get it.
Ma'am, actually it's there on Samskritani manual.
Yes,
Okay.
on
Yeah.
Samskritani also it is there.
It is given in one of the lectures, one of the previous earliest lectures.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is Ketan Puranik.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Actually, can you share some technical references, like some concepts on dependency parsing that is being used in?
Okay. See, what you can do is you go to my website. If you go to publications here,
yeah,
you will get everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Then Paushkar Asadi, you have any question?
No, I just had a comment. I just wanted to say that
Huh?
I mean, once we say that, what is it? Jagata Pitarau Vande
Huh?
Parvati
Yes.
Parmesharau.
Huh?
Then the question of Pitarau and Parvati Parmesharau is very clear. I mean, I don't think there is, if we analyze it too much into grammar, I don't think we will be able to. I mean, I thought a Shabda Bodha basically clears the whole thing. There is, if you analyze it further, it is like,
Hmm.
I
No, no,
don't
but-
know whether one should do
No,
it
no,
at
let
all
me-
in the sense.
No, no, let me comment on this. See, there are certain texts which have dual readings, dual meanings. Okay. So she was just wondering,
Okay.
she was not commenting on this particular thing actually.
Okay.
She wanted to say that in Narayani, she
Okay.
is facing
Okay,
such
that-
things. Okay.
Okay.
And in order to explain that, she took this example and
Okay.
she imagined it and tried
that
to
sense.
analyze it this way. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
fine. So essentially, that's what this is something which is very important. It is possible that we can split a given word in several ways, etc. But we need to see whether it is consistent.
Okay.
That consistency is needed, and we need to also see whether such usages are there in the past and all that. See,
Okay.
sometimes it is possible to imagine and split a word and then understand it in some way, etc. But we need to see whether it is authenticated
Okay.
by somebody else.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
That's it. Ketan Purani,
I still have a
anything?
question. Ma'am. I have a. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes, Premila.
this is regarding the course ending. So we are done with all the minor exams, correct?
Yes, all minor exams are done. This final exam, the Samasa, if you have taken it, then you are done with all the exams.
Okay, that's fine. And then are we expecting two more self-assessments? Because that shows
not self-assessments, but I will give you 2 or 3 shlokas, and I will ask you to do the analysis and make the corrections, etc., and tally it with. So essentially, it will be a kind of whatever you are doing for the project work, some kind of practice in that direction.
Okay, and then the project work will be graded, correct?
Yes.
So now, so only the project work mark is going to come, whatever we got in our minor exams, and then on that the
plus project work is out of 20. Yes. Okay. Yeah. In chat, are there any? No. Okay. Fine. Okay. So I think it's done. Let us stop here today. And tomorrow, same time, we will have a discussion session. So all those who are not getting the trees, graphs, etc., or finding it difficult to analyze the shlokas that I had asked you to practice, all those we can discuss. And if there are any other questions, we can discuss during tomorrow's discussion session. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Professor.
Thank you.